Hey, we are live Sunday night, 8 o'clock, all Lacrosse live. I am Muffler Mike. Gary is en route. He's making his way back from Fan Cup. Had a little bit of vehicular trouble. When we wanted him to three-peat for parking lot, this isn't what we had in mind. But with me, of course, Shawn Slaght over in Moose Jaw. And we've got Pat Bernard here down in Philly, and Caden Balint will be on soon enough. We'll be going over PLL week 7. Lots of happenings, good and bad, depending on who you are.
Yeah.
But we'll kick things off with Canadian juniors, and I'll start in Ontario. Where playoffs started getting underway on Sunday. And I believe these are best of 5, so most of these are finished. But last Sunday, we had game 1 between Peterborough and Six Nations. Peterborough comes out with a 6-5 win. The Toronto Beaches beat Mimico 7-4 in game 1 of their series. And Orangeville took a 9-8 win over Kitchener-Waterloo. On Monday, Whitby and St. Catharines played their first game. Whitby took a 12-7 decision. Tuesday, we had Peterborough 10-7 over Six Nations to take a 2-0 lead. Toronto Beaches took a 2-0 lead in their series with Mimico with a 9-6 win. And Orangeville goes up 2-0 with a 12-4 win over Kitchener-Waterloo. On Wednesday, St. Catharines evened their series at 1 game apiece with Whitby with a 12-5 win. On Thursday, we had Game 3. Peterborough completes the sweep of Six Nations with a 10-8 win. Orangeville sweeps Kitchener with a 12-1 victory. And the Toronto Beaches move on 9-2 over Mimico to sweep that series. St. Catharines and Whitby played Game 3 with St. Catharines taking a 7-6 win. Then Whitby on Saturday evened the series at 2 games apiece with a 6-5 win in Game 4. And Game 5 is scheduled for tonight. So if we do get a score from that, we will let you know. Move over to, I guess, Alberta and BC juniors.
BC. Yeah, you bet. I guess I'll start out in BC. Like I said, they also started their playoffs. Coquitlam in their semifinal has a 3-0 series lead over Delta in the best of 7. So on Thursday, Coquitlam picked up a 10-4 win. Friday, they defeated the Islanders 14-4. And then actually just this afternoon, they wrapped up with Coquitlam taking a 13-6 win. So they're kind of looking at that juggernaut that we thought they were in the first round, at least. Delta's kind of on the brink now. As for the other semifinal, we have Nanaimo against Victoria with Nanaimo with a 2-1 series lead. Game 1 was, I guess that must have been Tuesday night, with the Shamrocks taking a 10-9 win. Then on Friday evening, Nanaimo took a 9-8 win to even up the series. And then yesterday afternoon, I should say, Nanaimo came away with a 7-4 win to take that series lead. Then over to the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League in Alberta. Double check we're left off here. So Friday night for game 3 of the best of 7 between the SWAT and the Raiders. The Raiders took a 10-4 win by the looks of it. It's just a box score, but I'm assuming that's a final. And then on Saturday or yesterday, the Raiders took a 12-2 win. So that is a sweep. The Raiders took over the SWAT, so they're now eliminated. And the Calgary Raiders will move on to the championship final. In the other series, we have the Edmonton Miners against the Calgary Mounties. Last Sunday, the Mounties took a 10-8 win. Then yesterday night, the Mounties won 11-10. And this afternoon, I'm not sure if it's the final because it says box score, but it looks like the Miners took a 10-9 win. So if that score holds true from this afternoon's game, that series is tied 2 games apiece in the best of 7 series.
All right.
And when you want me to move on to Rocky Mountain, Prairie Gold?
Sure.
All right, so Junior B started their playoffs this weekend right here in Moose Jaw against the Prince Albert Predators, who finished first in the standings. And Prince Albert took a 13-7 win over Moose Jaw. So now goes to game 2 next Saturday in Prince Albert. And that's pretty much if Prince Albert wins that, it's over. If Moose Jaw can tie up the series, they go to a mini game right after that to decide the series, the league champion. And in Senior B, we had one game on Wednesday in their regular season. Saskatoon Brewers picked up a 17-7 win over the Saskatoon SWAT. So their playoffs, I'm just going to bring that up here, starts on Wednesday with once again, the Brewers and SWAT taking each other on, with the winner facing the Standing Buffalo Fighting Sioux for the league championship.
I was waiting for Pat to be on here, but I said I don't have a voice and I'll still scream.
Welcome, Caden. We will get to PLL shortly for you and let you rejoice. We'll go back to Ontario for Senior B here. Few games to finish up the season. Last Sunday, Six Nations Rivermen defeated Collingwood 11-7. Owen Sound beat the Hamilton Bengals 7-6. On Friday, Six Nations defeated the Owen Sound North Stars 15-5. And then on Saturday, we had Hamilton taking an overtime 7-6 win over Ennismore. Hey, Eduardo, thanks for joining us.
Eduardo.
And the Brooklyn Merchants beat Collingwood 16-7. We had 2 games today. Brooklyn took a 5-3 decision over Owen Sound. And Six Nations in Hamilton, I believe, are yet to... Oh, no, they are underway. Right now, it looks like it's 8-7 Hamilton in the second period. So, and if I'm not mistaken, that might be the final game of the regular season. The standings as they are right now, Brooklyn would be 14-2. Six Nations is 12-3, pending the ongoing game. Hamilton is 9-6, pending the ongoing game. Owen Sound's at 7-8. I'm sorry, 7-9, with the loss today. Collingwood 3-13, and Ennismore 2-14. I believe top 4 make the playoffs in that, but I'm not certain. So playoffs, I assume, would probably get underway next week. So, but that does it for juniors and senior Bs. So now we have the whole crew here almost. We'll get into PLL, and I guess we will start with Caden first. They were in Fairfield this weekend for Indigenous Heritage. Unmute yourself, kid.
Oh, thank God.
Never
Oh,
no
that's
fear
another hurdle.
in anything. Top of the East, baby. Thank you, Maryland, first of all. Pat, I am not sorry about that one at all. 4 in a row for New York. That's I said it in the chat. I'm gonna say it here. I don't think there's a team besides the Outlaws that can realistically beat the Atlas right now with the way that they're playing. Multiple MVPs rocking this roster, backed by Liam Entenmann, with Connor Schellenberger playing the way he is. They still don't have Jeff Teat up to full value, and when they don't have Jeff Teat right there, they're going to Schellenberger, they're going to Dixon, they're still putting the trust in Danny Logan, and we are also mentioning it. Atkinson is back off of the holdout roster, off the holdout list.
Now, let me ask, because this is this was a 16-12 win, but it was 12-11 after 3 quarters in favor of Atlas. Was this more Atlas taking over in the fourth, or was this a continuation of California, their offense going south in the fourth quarter? Because that's been a problem for the Redwoods for, all 5 of their games in their losing streak, their 5-game losing streak that they're on right now, for the most part.
Oh, unmute yourself, kid.
Oh,
again.
Don't tell.
I think you have to take it as a sign of both, because yes, the Atlas were able to add on to their ever-growing dominance in the late game, but it's also we're finally taking the moniker over to California. They're having their second halves. It's the second half of horrors for most of these teams now. It seems like the Atlas and the Outlaws are the only 2 teams that can fully play 4 quarters. Truly.
I was gonna say, like, that's the biggest concern if you're a California fan, is the fact that you only put up 2 goals in the second half.
Second half, yep.
It's the scoring aspect. Like you can't just rely on the Kavanaughs. You have to feed it around. And I'm gonna say his name. I praise his name, Charlie Bertrand. Just give him some more looks, like genuinely.
More looks, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I'm torn because I see those power outages, and I see sometimes guys like Ryder Garnsey just disappear late, but at the same time, I'm not sure anyone expected necessarily Redwoods to be contending this year. I think the consensus was pretty much, hey, this is a rebuild.
But the way that they started had to have kind of given them false hope, because they were on fire to start the season, and now dropping their last 5, like you said, it has to be a form of false hope.
Maybe. I mean, they got a lot of rookies there. You have Chris Kavanaugh, Andrew McAdory, Josh Balkersell. They're all rookies. And you're talking about basically replacing the likes of Wes Berg and Rob Pennell.
Yeah, I looked down the lineup too.
A group of rookies. So
I looked down the lineup. I mean, where's Romar Dennis? Like, he's gone off the map.
Hot and cold, yeah.
Dylan Malloy, he had 11 shots on net and only 1 goal. Like, where's he? Like, there's some veterans that you need to be leaning on that you're just not getting production out of.
That's true, and I mean, I'm not sure how they can fix it. And I think, who do they have next week? Is it
California has Utah next week?
Oh, jeez, that's Utah on their homecoming, huh?
Yep.
Is that the first game or the second game?
That'll be the first game. So next week, for the July 25th and 26th week, they have at 8 p.m. California starts off against Utah. Then at 10:30, Maryland faces New York. On Saturday, Philadelphia will have Carolina, and then Denver will have Utah at the night game.
Yeah, so that doesn't make it any easier for them. already lost once to Utah, and they're not getting Utah, on the
And
back end of a doubleheader. Because again, we
Yeah.
haven't, we've yet to see anyone sweep their doubleheader weekend. Correct?
correct. Up till now, there's been no sweeps. It's all been a split of 1-1, and
Except for
that's
California. California lost both of theirs.
yeah, except for
Yeah.
California.
Then to draw the Outlaws as your second game.
And
I wouldn't
for
want to be the Archers.
for Utah, it's just going to be tough because you're going to have a rested Denver team on the second half, which doesn't bode well with the way Denver's been playing. But on the same time, you're also coming off a very close victory over the Chaos. And we were all talking about it and how Carolina was just right there. And Mike, you mentioned it, how there's still been no overtimes up until 27 games coming up until now, which I feel like is going to be a sign of overtime per overtime per overtime in the playoffs. But that's just more blood. That's just more heightening on the blood pressure for the Atlas fans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
and it's 28 games now, and the other thing I'll note is two game splits. No one has a sweep yet in division
Yeah,
on any other team.
Yeah.
So I mean, Archers can kind of get the first one on Friday night, but I thought that was interesting to note that no team has swept the division rival yet. So
I think
coming
this
down
is
the
going to
wire.
be. I think this is going to be good as well because for Pat, it's going to be good for you guys to kind of get back on, hopefully, in the winning road when you take on Carolina because they're still really, really struggling. But for New York, it's a chance to just continue their lead in the East. They take on another Eastern rival in Maryland. I mean, I know that I'm going to continue to hype up New York through all of this, but they are legitimately the best team right now in the PLL.
Yeah, I mean, hard to argue with that,
Yeah.
except for unless you're arguing Denver at this point.
But we look at the Atlas game. Schellenberger led with 7 points, but all assists. Like I was just talking about him. He's able to feed the ball over to everybody, which is huge for them. Teat had 2. Dixon had 4 in his homecoming back to Connecticut. Trainer had 3. Stevens had 2, and then you saw Rex Road with a 2 goal, which was pretty cool for that. Their only 2 goal for the night. And Baptiste, Costable, and Bowering all finish out the scoring. So 4, 2, and 3 from Teat, Dixon, and Trainer is huge. I know we keep talking about, or at least I keep talking about how well Trainer has been this season and how he's like in his rookie season has really taken that next leap to be a consistent contributing force for the Atlas, which is something they needed because it was a kind of cry of last season that without Jeff Teat scoring, they were kind of struggling. And now they're getting production from Schellenberger. They're getting production from Dixon. They're getting that production from Trainer. Stevens is finally starting to find the ball in the net. It's finally starting to go into a well-oiled machine that is just continuously running down the tracks.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great. Sorry, Ken, I was just going to say that's a great point because, I mean, how many times have we seen the Atlas in the past, or even Ottawa for that mistake inside the box? Just if Jeff Teat goes dry, so does the team. It's kind of refreshing to see. Okay, now he's got some backup now. So if Jeff Teat can't produce, or he's not producing, or he's getting double teamed and can't get those points, it's not the end of the world. They can still win games.
And that's what's huge for the Atlas to have these pieces. And I'm going to kind of go back to the NLL. And it's why Ottawa makes a big trade to grab a guy like Travis Longboat last season, because they want to get those pieces with Jeff Teat so they don't have to continuously rely on him. And now I'm a huge Longboat guy, but I think a full season in Ottawa with Jeff, I think they're finally going to have some chemistry and they're finally going to take the pressure off of Teat, at least more so than it was last season.
Because there's no doubt he's a generational talent, but you can't. He's just one guy, right? Yeah. One guy can't hold the weight of an entire team on his shoulders all the time.
Yeah, definitely. So, but second game that evening, we saw the Archers uh, snap their 3-game losing streak. The 12-11 win over the Chaos. Both teams are now 3-4. Um, but they definitely had to hold on. They built an 8-0 lead in this game and nearly squandered it. And that lead was built partly on two 2-point goals that they got from Mason Woodward. They got a pair of goals and an assist from Sam King, a pair of goals from Connor Fields. Grant Ament had a goal and an assist. Mac O'Keefe with 2 assists. And then Dyson Williams, Trey LeClaire, and Bo Pedersen, each with a goal. Brett Dobson maybe returning to form, 17 saves on the night. For Chaos, I'll echo Caden's statement from earlier that they may be struggling a bit to find their offense or some balance in their offense. They get 5 goals and 2 assists out of Owen Hiltz, a pair of goals from Ross Scott, a goal and assist from Josh Zawada, and a goal each from Jackson Eicher, Scott Smith, and Sergio Perkovic. Noticeably absent from the board, Adam Charlambides.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
like,
Held without points. So, but I also think there's a couple of levels to this. I mean, we haven't seen Eric Dobson for some time in that offense, and of course Shane Knobloch got injured. I don't know what the timetable is for his return offhand. So those are a couple of bigger pieces that maybe Carolina was relying on to be kind of consistent in their offense.
The offense is obviously a big issue because holding to a 12-11 loss is tough. But I kind of viewed this game more as a goalie battle. I mean, Reardon and Dobson both made 15 plus saves. They both really did everything they could to keep their team in there. But I'm going to echo you. Like you said, noticeably absent was Adam Charlambides. And if the Chaos need any sort of, or want any sort of hope to get their offense going, it has to go through Charlambides right now. And if it's not Charlambides, another noticeably absent name was JJ Silstrop.
Yeah. It's not like, the Chaos didn't have any chances. Justin Inacio had 14 of 23 face-offs. Good to see Jake Naso actually out there for the Archers taking face-offs, even though he only went 9 of 23. But again, they're getting those extra possessions off the face-off.
And they just couldn't just couldn't capitalize.
They're just not converting on it.
Converting. And I hate to say it, but we've really had only one blowout win. And that blowout win is hurting the Chaos right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 14-point loss, and their goal differential is minus 16 right now.
Yeah, so real tiebreaker's tough for them.
Yeah. I mean, so you're sitting third in the West. You're only a game up on Redwoods, and do they have another date with Redwoods?
Who? The Archers?
No, the Chaos.
The Chaos. The Chaos have Denver next week, and then the final week they have the Archers. Chaos have the Archers and the Outlaws.
All right,
Denver.
So that must mean they've already split. They've already split their series.
Yeah.
With Chaos. Yeah,
also
they have split their series with Chaos. So and here's the funny thing: they split that series. They split their series with Chaos. But if you go by goal differential within the series, Redwoods is +4, Chaos -4. So
that goal differential is the first tiebreaker.
So that puts Chaos in even more of a pickle. So, because it's not just, all Redwoods needs to do is keep pace with Chaos. And, you know, whether it's overall goal differential or, season series goal differential, Redwoods could take that third spot in the West and leave Chaos out on the outside of the playoff window.
The Chaos kind of really need to buckle down if they want to inch in, but it's gonna be it feels like it's a long shot.
Basically, for them is they cannot get into a tiebreaker. They have to outdo whichever opponent
because there's some breathing room. Yep.
Yeah.
So.
And like we were saying, it's kind of be tough for the Chaos to kind of pick up those key wins. Like we were saying, they have Philadelphia on Saturday. Then next week on August 1st, they have the Denver Outlaws. And then in the last week of the regular season, they have Utah on August 8th. So it's going to be a really tough time to kind of buckle down for them because they need to pick up 3 huge wins. One against a championship contending team. They have Utah, who is literally the reigning champion. And then they're going to have Utah a second time. Nope. Sorry. Then they have Philadelphia this week, which is going to be a test for both Philadelphia and Carolina.
Yeah. And with Pat back, we'll move into that game. So, Pat, if you want to take it away.
No,
That's not what I meant by take it away.
I don't want to talk about these losers. I'm done with them. Can I give you guys an analogy what the Philadelphia Water Dogs are like right now? That same guy who's at the bar plays the same damn song with the jukebox, and then one day they decide to change the tune, and you get excited. But then he goes back to playing the same song over and over and over.
Just give you a faint little bit of hope. And then
it's kind of the Water Dogs mentality right now. I don't understand these group of losers. This game at the palm of your hands and you let it slip away is beyond my understanding. You have Michael Sowers showing you why he's one of the best players in the league, showing you his Allen Iverson's skill of being a small, pesty player that he is, creating separation, nice spin moves. He made one goal. You press triangle, and he does a jump, flip, and does all the other action buttons that you need him to do. And this, towards the second half or second quarter, this team was up 5-2. Decide to fall asleep. The Water Dogs decide to take a nap at the wrong part of the time. And you had guys like TJ Malone being an assist master with 4 assists, just with great ball movement, picking apart that squad. You also had, Matt Brandu just gets 4 goals himself.
Against his former team.
Yeah.
Phillies, this Water Dogs defense was nowhere to be found. Fell asleep and having a nice cushioned lead. And again, one attempt, I believe it was only one attempt, shoot from the perimeter. Not really going to get the job done.
Yeah.
And
kind of fell back.
Look at the statistics. I mean, DeLuca played well for you, 16 saves, 64. You said Michael Sowers, great game. Alex Stathakis, you're 8 for 18 on the face-off dot. That's not going to help you, especially if you're trying to hold on to a lead.
I mean, he was up against Nardella, so
it's true. That's true.
And maybe did I miss something? And I'll take full responsibility for this. But where was Karen McCardle on the score sheet? Was he back of the milk carton? Did I miss him? Did he not? Did he play well last week and that was good enough? I mean, where was Karen McCardle at?
Yeah. I mean, conspicuously absent, but I mean,
well, you have a guy like Jack Cannon with 1 assist. I mean, again, another guy you should be expecting more out of. You can't rely just on Mike Sowers.
I mean, it almost feels like, it almost feels like they're at a point where, they need to figure out sooner who has the hot hand at the time and start going with them. I'm saying that kind of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep going with the people who are hot until they're not.
But at some point,
not just that.
At some point, does it turn into a Jeff Teat situation if they're relying on the hot hand? Because right now, the hot hand is Michael Sowers. If it just continues to rely on Sowers, does this just fall into a Jeff Teat type situation with Ottawa and New York?
Well, I think I was going to say, sorry, Mike, is we saw the last game, and Pat pointed out the perimeter shooting, the 2 points. Where's that gone? Like we saw when they can do it, it's successful and they can win, but they're not.
Oh yeah, I mean, 2 years ago they were all over the place, between Curry and Kelly, I get the idea.
And here goes another problem that they had here. Well, and again, to me, Maryland yeah, Mike.
No, I mean, Brandow. Brandow got hot for the Whip Snakes. Four goals in the final quarter, but I saw people on social media in the comments, saying, Sowers disappeared after the first half. Were they not going back to him enough in the second half? And I can see the Jeff Teat analogy, if you will, or whatever, the other edge of the sword, if you will, on that. I think it's a little different if your hot hand is the guy you're usually putting at X or at goal line extended. Because when you're playing at X or you're running on the narrow angle, like on goal line extended, there's more options as far as passing, as far as I'm concerned. If you're at X, you can see where all your teammates are moving, and you can feed guys in front. So if they're starting to neutralize you, you have that option to get rid of the ball and rely on your teammates to finish for you.
Right. Well, like I said,
Jeff Teat,
to me, it was a simple
playing behind the net.
True. And the one thing that stood out to me, though, for this game, like Maryland did their homework. Maryland made all their adjustments. The Whip Snakes were smart about this. If you saw what the Whip Snakes did, they just gave Philly a taste of their own medicine. What was Mike Sowers doing the entire game, right? He was sitting behind the opposing net and making plays. Maryland did the same thing, but they had more guys who were just better playmakers at the time. They had other guys who were going to score. That's the only difference. They gave Philly a taste of their own medicine, and Philly couldn't handle it. They couldn't step. Like, that's one thing. Like Mike Sowers, great job, spin moves, creating separations. Maryland did all that. It was a taste of their own medicine, and Philly didn't know how to adjust to it. Didn't know how to stop it. And that, I don't know if that's going to fall on Bill Tierney. That may have to. He may have to do a better. Him and his coaching staff have to do a better job making adjustments when the tough gets going.
Yeah, and I mean, they're with this chaos team coming up for them, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be super important that they don't fall into the same trap that we saw California fall into when they lost to Carolina before the All-Star break. And that was, playing the ISO game basically, where there wasn't a lot of player movement. You weren't seeing a whole lot of pick and rolls. There was a lot of, hey, I'm just going to try to take you one-on-one and beat you. And I mean, Blaze Reardon ate that up. And I think that was at his second 20-plus save game of the year, I think, in that win. So, and he had no problem seeing everything. There was very little, especially in the second half of that game, there was very little attempts to kind of, move players around, feed the ball inside, try any sort of, deception plays. Even using, guys like Ryder Garnsey, from behind the net. It just nothing went right for Redwoods in the second half of that game against Chaos before the All-Star break. So, I think the Water Dogs they just need to keep that ball moving around to keep Blaze Reardon off balance.
Well, that's the thing too, Mike. They get into this rhythm, which is great. They like to create havoc down low. They like to make plays down low, but it's more of I could be saying this wrong. It looks like more of a, hey, Mike, let's see what you could do down low. All right, on the next possession, we'll see what Shawn could do next possession down low. All right, Caden, it's your turn. Let's just try to get highlight reels instead of playing team ball. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like who can do what down low for the ESPN highlight reel instead of let's just play smart team lacrosse and let's try to pick apart this defense and let's move on.
Yeah.
They suck.
Yeah.
I know they do. And I'm happy. No more contention.
Can I join you?
Join the dark side. Join the dark side. Join the dark side. You can all join the dark side. Everybody, this is gonna be. We're gonna go back to me and the audience. Audience, join the dark side. You know you want to. Join me.
I feel like
I'm not your father, but Danny Logan is all of our fathers. Liam Entenmann's all of our fathers. It can Xander, we can go with any one of them, but just join us.
I feel like this is that movie. I feel like this is that movie Dirty Works with Norm Smiley and there's Norm Smiley and Norm Macdonald. They said and when they're about to get into a bar fight, Norm Macdonald just said, "Hey, can I be on their team?" Because it was like a 2 against 7. He was like, "Yeah, can I be on their team?" That's what I feel like with the Water Dogs. They lead me to a road to nowhere, and I'm about to throw off the purple jersey. I'm tired of this. It's just one guy is not going to get it done. You need everyone to get involved. It's terrible. In the defense, my Lord, if I see, they can leave me wide open. And again, they just leave holes in his own defensive coverage. They just leave holes all over. Like, I don't know. And again, I don't know if it's the wings out there, because I've seen the same thing with the wings. Miscommunication. Who's guarding this guy to the left? Who's guarding to the guy to the right? Who's sticking on the perimeter? It's here. Don't do this to me all day. No, I'm kidding.
All it takes is one late slide every time.
Speaking of that late slide, our next team has really hit that slide in a bad way. Let's look at Boston. Like, I don't know what is going on with them right now.
Yeah, I mean, they nearly pulled this out. Got a little bit of a benefit near the end where Marcus Holman tied Paul Rabel for second all time in goals scored, and that goal was actually initially ruled a 1-point goal, and Boston did not have any challenges to try to get it reviewed to get the 2 points out of it. Replays clearly showed it was 2-point goal, but the scorer's table went ahead and did their own review, and that gave the Cannons a 17-16 lead, but the Outlaws scored 2 goals late and win the highest scoring game so far this year, 18-17. The Tewaaraton guys showing up again. The Tewaaraton 4, Pat Kavanaugh, 2 goals, 3 assists. Brennan O'Neill and Jared Bernhardt both had 4 goals on the day. Logan Wisnauskas had a goal. Dalton Young, 2 goals and 3 assists. Jack Gray got his first career PLL goal along with an assist. Luke Weirman dominated at the stripe, 23 of 34 on faceoffs, and a key goal in a run that gave Outlaws a lead late in the third quarter. And I think we need to start talking about this guy for MVP, never mind Rookie of the Year now. Logan McNaney, 13 saves, and he's 5-0 since being named the starter for the Outlaws.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like, it's the 5-0 since he's been in, but it feels like McNaney's the lifeblood right now. Like you can look at anyone and say like they might be succeeding without some of these guys. Like they might be succeeding if they didn't have Kavanaugh right there. They might be succeeding if they didn't have Bernhardt right there. But would they be succeeding without McNaney? I mean, look at that. Like you said, 5-0 up until now.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, when you just read off those names too, Mike, it Kavanaugh, Brandon O'Neill, Dalton Young, 2 guys I watched during the winter who are studs. Kavanaugh, who I've covered, who's a playmaker. I mean, that, like, when you read off those names, it explains why this team's young, why this team's sitting at 5-2. Like, that, it just shows you how dangerous that Outlaws team is with no quit ever, 1 through 4 quarters that team has. I mean, they are just a well-oiled machine. Like, even through the Wings drought that they were going on, even there was some bright spots that Dalton Young that I've seen just became an absolute playmaker. I mean, so it's no shocker that this team is just kind of running away with the league. And the best team's going to be able to give that team a punch will be New York. I mean, like you said, New York doesn't even have Jeff Teat in the lineup, and when that guy gets back, that's going to probably be it seems like that's going to be your championship bout right there between those two. Everyone else is not even nowhere near their levels.
And not only that, it's longevity too, right? Because you're talking about that young lineup. You've got now a really good core group of offensive players that are going to be together for a while now. You're going to see this Outlaws team contend for a long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all going to be led by Brennan O'Neill. I mean, I just won't even think about that Brennan O'Neill goal. That was I don't even know how that man can do something like that. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the Cannons did give these guys a run for their money, though. They do fall to 3-4 with the loss, and they're actually in last place in the East, tied with the Whip Snakes, but goal differential is negative right now. Whereas, that same here's that same one blowout win that's hurting the Chaos is helping the Whip Snakes right now.
Yep.
It's part of the only reason they're a +8 right now is because they had a 14-point win earlier in the year.
And it's just amazing how things can flip-flop in the span of almost nothingness. I mean, Boston was fighting for the East lead a month ago.
Yeah, a month ago.
And now they're bottom with a -6 goal differential. And about a month and a half ago, I was worried about the Atlas. They just lost 2 straight, and they're looking weak. And now they're 5-2 with a 4 in a row. I mean, it's fantastic.
Well, and that's maybe one of the bright sides for the Water Dogs is they're still sitting in second at 4-3. a goal differential of 2. So if, and I know that's a big if, Pat, they can get, a good win under their belts, they're going to be sitting in good shape.
And we can look at next week's schedule. Their best chance is to set it in stone with a win over Carolina. With the way Carolina's been struggling, this is Philadelphia's best chance. It's kind of like how the NLL views the Wings as a pick-me-up game. This is now Philadelphia's chance to look at Carolina as a pick-me-up game. Finally pick up their roster. Finally get...
Absolutely. Oh, we just lost your sound, Caden.
Yeah.
And it's going to be right through Michael Sowers.
Definitely. So yeah, big weekend.
Yeah.
Coming up again.
I'm trying to get all flared up. I'm trying to make myself feel good, but again, the way that Philly's defense is just so vanilla, so just flat. It's they can't give you 4 quarters of lacrosse. It kind of explains why they're in the middle of the pack. Until I see more in-depth defense, I can't have a wet t-shirt contest no time soon.
I'll put it this way though, Pat. Would you rather take that 2-8 team you had last year versus now a 4-3? At least you're seeing.
No,
you doubled your wins.
Right? Yes.
You've doubled your wins. That's a positive. Come on.
And look, I mean, you are one of only 3 out of the 8 teams that are over 500. So, right now 5 teams are under 500 in an 8-team league. So, I mean, the goal differential, certainly that could be a concern, could come into play. But that's also going to be.
And again, I think that goal for differential could flip if you can get yourself a good win under your belt, right?
Yeah.
And at least close that gap.
And Mike, you mentioned how half the league are only 3 teams are above 500, and besides Philadelphia, the other 2 are the 2 best teams in the league, the Atlas and the Outlaws. So if anything, I'm still going to advocate for you, Pat. This should be a huge plus, and the chance to go up to 5-3 against a struggling Chaos team that we go back to minus 16 in the goal differential. This is your chance to not only boost your goal differential, to make you guys feel better about yourself.
Caden, I would
have that warm-up game.
Well, and you're going to need it because, your final 2 games are division games, and it's Atlas and Cannons. So,
and you're now, the
Cannons, the Cannons could be that could be a big game.
That could be like seeding.
Caden, I appreciate you guys and trying to boost my energy and boost my confidence. But when I look in the mirror, I realize there's a loser on the other end of it. Okay, I had come to the realization that this team, yes, it has been playing a little better. But if you are not going to try to keep if you're not going to try to keep another team off balance with perimeter shooting and just trying to make plays down low, and it's the same over and over record in the jukebox, I'm excited for it. There's a loser on the other side of that mirror. I told you that.
I don't know. I mean, I'd still feel a little bit confident because, with 3 weeks left, everyone's got 3 games left, and
except for the home, except for the.
Yeah, I mean, it'll start.
Yeah, but see, I would feel a little bit more confident.
Sure. I mean, if you were 5-2, I mean, I think 6 wins is going to get you in the playoffs, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
At this point.
No, I said I would feel
6 wins should get you a playoff spot.
And
more
you don't want to.
If they would put away Maryland, because Maryland had in this game only put up 6 goals. Like if you could have just tackled, we're going to come out like the danger animal.
You look. If I'm Philadelphia and I don't want to write the schedule down as wins and losses, but you look at the schedule and you realistically go 2-1 the rest of the season because they can come back and they can beat the Whips. With how they will play against Carolina this week, how I feel they'll play against Carolina this week, it'll boost their momentum. It'll be a tough loss to the Horns Up Atlas, but facing the Whips in a playoff implication spot for that, like you said, Mike, for that 6th win, that would put fire under their asses.
The Whips, you're talking the Cannons.
The Cannons, yeah.
The Cannons. So,
and Cannons have been struggling lately too. So
yeah,
I mean,
they're going to be getting desperate. So
it's realistically that Philadelphia can end it 2-1. I mean, they can win all 3.
100%.
Everybody can win all 3. It's all a matter of ups and downs. But you look at the schedule and you look at the scheduling. Realistically, they win 2 out of 3.
Yeah, no, I agree. I could see Philly finishing this season 6-4.
100%.
And then that'll put them in.
I'm still not taking the War Dogs on my pick'ems this weekend. I don't care.
I'm already pushing mine ahead. So. Give me Philly.
Dogs off. I might start eating Alpo. If they lose this weekend, I'll start eating. if they lose this weekend, I must start eating some dog food.
I will make a thing with you right now. If Philadelphia lose, I will eat a dog treat on the show next week.
Yes.
That's how confident I am in the Philadelphia victory.
I'll add a couple of things here to wrap up for the Cannons, how they performed here.
Oh my gosh! If they lose, I'm telling you, I'm going to come in there and start shooting apples.
Again, Marcus Holman, tying Paul Rabel, 2nd all-time in goals scored. He and Connor Kirst both finished with a goal, a 2-point goal, and an assist. Connor Kirst did leave the game early with a head injury, so his status is uncertain, and that's going to be a big blow to the Cannons, especially their transition game if he's not available for any amount of time. They do get a hat trick from Ryan Drenner, a hat trick from Matt Campbell, who also had an assist. Asher Nolting 4 assists, which I don't know how. I mean, how do you guys feel about Nolting? Do you feel like he's having the kind of year he should be having? He kind of came into the league kind of, big body, getting down low, scoring the dirty goals. And this season has kind of been, his role seems like it's changed to more of a facilitator, and he seems to be more deferring to guys, which, is understandable when you have some of the firepower that they have with Drenner, with Holman, with, now Will Manny, Jules Henningberg, who they just picked up. He had a 2-point goal and an assist.
This Cannons team has so much offensive firepower, and to say that they're struggling is crazy because they should be realistically at a potential 5-2, just like the Atlas. They should really be in a game away from a playoff spot, and they just can't finish it off. And they have all the pieces there to do so.
Yeah, and it's almost funny you say that because we had this. Shawn will probably remember we had this conversation a couple of years ago, and we had it in the wake of Lyle Thompson, of all people, deciding, you know what, I'm not playing PLL. I'm going to go play for Six Nations. I'm going to chase, Man Cup, which it's working out quite well for him, by the way. but the talk surrounding the Cannons was, hey, tough to lose such a talented player, but it's going to potentially open up this offense. that has so many other good options.
Yeah, because I remember that conversation, and it became down to there was so much offense, but they became so reliant on Lyle Thompson at that time. It's like, okay, someone else has got to step up here.
Mhm.
And I find it interesting. I know we're talking kind of attack versus a midfielder here, but if Curse is out any length of time, maybe you do need. And again, like I know we're talking different positions here, but maybe you need Nolting to start putting stuff more in the back of the net and stepping up in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. So, yeah, so again, standings right now in the East: Atlas 5-2, Water Dogs 4-3, Whip Snakes are at 3-4 with the +8 goal differential. Cannons are also at 3-4 with a -6. Over in the West, the Outlaws 5-2 have a 2-game lead on everyone. Archers and Chaos both at 3-4. Again, Chaos -16 goal differential. That one blowout is really hurting them right now, potentially. And then you have Redwoods 2-5 with a -7 goal differential. So, all it takes is one win and a Chaos loss. And suddenly the Chaos are out on the outside looking in as we go into week 8. And that's going to be Archer's homecoming in Salt Lake City next week. So they'll have 2. The Cannons are on a bye. So, but I appreciate you guys coming on and having
have to hype it up.
Yeah. It's
Massive win.
it's heating up, and I mean, everyone's still in it.
Yeah.
And I mean, with the PLL, this level of parity is all you can ask for and more.
100%.
So. So, if anyone wants to add anything else on the PLL end,
I think I mean I've said my piece. The only thing else I can finish out saying is horns up, ride it into another victory. We gotta hype and hope. Hold on, the hype and hope. Hype and hope. Get hype up, hope up. Let's go. Oh, join us as well. Yeah. I almost fell.
Pat. We're gonna stay stoic.
I think Mike's silence shows everything.
that says it all.
Yeah.
They have Chaos. I think it's a winnable game.
I agree.
And,
I really agree.
I think 2 of the last 3 are winnable for them for sure.
So, but again, thank you guys. Thank you to Pat. Thank you to Caden. And we'll be seeing you guys next week.
Seeing you next week. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, Caden.
Have a good week.
So we can move on to major series, but I'm going to check a couple of scores here, see if we've got any finals, some games. OJLL looks like we're still says it's live, but it's in the third period. Game 5 between Whitby and St. Catharines, and Whitby is up 9-5 on the Athletics. So, sorry, 9-6 now. So that game's still in progress. St. Catharines just closed within 3. So, and then OSL. See if we can get an update here. Looks like Hamilton beat Six Nations 11-9. So a little bit of an upset there to finish out the regular season. So that'll put Hamilton at, if that holds up, puts Hamilton at 10-6 on the year. Six Nations will finish in second at 12-4. So, anything major series still on? We've got.
Do you want to move on to WLA while we got the?
Looks like I have a final here for major series for today, which I can get to. But I'll start with last Sunday. We had Six Nations. Chiefs taking a 13-9 win over Coburg. Coburg is just struggling to finish the season here. Might end up falling out of a playoff spot. On Monday, Brooklyn Lacrosse Club beat Oakville 10-7. On Tuesday, the Chiefs came back, won 11-6 over Brampton. On Wednesday, Brooklyn beat Owen Sound 10-5. Thursday saw Peterborough beat Oakville 9-6, and Brampton beat Coburg 16-9. And then on Saturday, we had Owen Sound with a big upset over the Peterborough Lakers 10-9. And of course, again today, Brampton with another win over Coburg. 2 of their 3 wins are against Coburg this year, so looks like 14-9. So your updated standings has Six Nations at 14-2, Peterborough at 11-5, Brooklyn at 10-6, Owen Sound at 7-9, Coburg looks like they're 6-11 now. Oakville is 5-10, and then Brampton is 3-13 on the year for major series.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Like you said, Coburg falling out in that loss by to Owen Sound by Peterborough. I mean, now Brooklyn's nipping at their heels for second.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I'm just gonna check their schedule real quick. There aren't very many games left. Monday, we've got Owen Sound and Oakville. Wednesday, there's a big one, Brooklyn at Six Nations. Thursday, Brampton at Peterborough, and they've played Peterborough very tough this year.
Yeah, don't count Brampton out on that one.
Man, they're on a bit of a win streak now. So, then on Sunday we've got 2 games: Brooklyn at Owen Sound and Peterborough at Coburg. So, and then there's a couple games the following week, I think, including one of the makeups. So, and that will finish the WLA season. And I believe Gary said the top 4 teams make the playoffs. So, right now, you have Six Nations, number 1 seed, and Peterborough and Brooklyn look like they're going to fight for the number 2 and 3 seeds. And right now, Owen Sound's got the inside track on the 4th and final playoff spot. Funny how both leagues, the 4th and final playoff spot, up for grabs between several teams, which we're going to get to in a sec with WLA. So I'll let you take that away.
Yeah, so let me get my WLA scores up here. Yeah, so I guess we started last Sunday. Maple Ridge took a 10-7 win over Nanaimo. I believe this was the game that took Nanaimo out of contention now for the playoffs. For Maple Ridge, 4 goals and an assist from Marcus Clarich. Drew Andre, pair of goals. Dagan Carlson, a couple of goals. Brandon Humphrey, 40 saves from 47 shots. For Nanaimo, Thomas Vason, 2 goals, 2 assists. You got a pair of goals from Ryan Sheridan, 3 assists from Noah Manning. Luke Pilcher, who's really actually had a great season with Nanaimo. Unfortunately, their record doesn't help much. The hat trick for the Timbermen in that one. Then heading on to, I believe this is Tuesday.
big shootout on Tuesday.
Yeah, the Victoria and Maple Ridge. I mean, give Maple Ridge credit on this one against a
Absolutely.
high-powered Victoria team and only holding them to a 5-3 win. Both goaltenders outstanding. Chris Regulari got the first star with 43 saves. Brandon Humphrey. I mean, how many times have we talked about this guy and what he's done in Maple Ridge goal? He had 45 saves. Again, it really just came down to the third period in this one. It was a 3-3 tie, and Victoria pitched a shutout. They got goals from Jesse King and Andrew Q, and really that was that. Shamrocks. Andrew Q actually had 2 of those 5 goals. They also got goals from Zach Mans, Jesse King, and Kyle Pepper. For the Berards, 3 goals. Caden Doughty, Reese Porteous, and Peyton Cormier came away with 3 goals for Maple Ridge in that one, as they, as we'll get to, are still kind of battling for that 4th and final playoff spot. Then we had Coquitlam and Burnaby. That was also on Tuesday evening, and Coquitlam came away with a 10-5 win. For Coquitlam, I mean, keeps them still in that race for first place with Victoria and New Westminster. For Burnaby, as we'll get to, I mean, they got to start winning some games. They're still in it, but they're probably going to need some help. And really, it was a tough start for Burnaby. They were shut out 3-0 in the first period, and then gave up 5 goals in the second. And really, that was pretty much all she wrote for Burnaby. It's hard to come back when you're down 8-2 with 20 minutes left to play in the game. For the Adnaks, we had a hat trick from James Ray, a pair of goals from Keen Moon, pair of goals from Jalen Chaster. Of course, Christian Del Bianco, 33 of 38 for Burnaby. A pair of goals from Jacob Dunbar. He had 2 assists from Jack Charbonneau. Lucas Parsons Quintal with 2 assists in this one. A little bit of a transition D guy getting in the action. Then you had South Richmond a goal and assist. In goal, you had split time between Keegan Blanichuk and Mark Russell Ripberger in this one. Burnaby kind of still in the hunt, but a tough loss against a tough Coquitlam team. Then on to Thursday, we had Maple Ridge and New West. And a big win for New Westminster to kind of keep in the hunt for first place. Picked up a 13-9 win over Maple Ridge. And really is, a really good first and second periods. They were up 10-5 at that point. Maple Ridge tried to come back a little bit. It was 4-3 for Maple Ridge in the third period, but really couldn't catch up, and really shooting gallery of 60 shots on net for the Salmon Bellies. 4 goals from Hayden Dixon for New West. Sorry, you got a pair of goals from Will Malcolm, 2 goals from Noah Armitage, 5-point nights from Mitch Jones and Ty Kurtz. And look who made it.
I am here.
He's alive.
I'm telling you, it has been an adventure amongst adventures today. I have seen things work. I have seen things not work. I have seen how Uber can work. I have seen how AAA can't work. I have seen how CAA can work. I can see how handing off at the border. I can see other ones. I did 3 tow trucks. Yes, I did 3 of them. I did. I waited 5 hours for the first one on a Sunday morning. I didn't realize there was only 1 truck in Buffalo. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Gary's seen things, guys. Gary's seen things.
We need to ask, was that driver a Bandits fan?
You know, I don't even think he could spell pen.
Well, we know if he was at a Bandits game, he can spell. So.
I gotta admit, my two Canadian drivers were awesome. The problem was that one had his hours up, and by law he had to give it up. And then I wound up in a in the middle of nowhere, in a shady tree, waiting for another one. So add an hour to my trip. This was a 12-hour ordeal, y'all. I just literally walked in the door 2 minutes ago. It's only fitting it says 911 on my clock here. Now here's the dumb thing, right? The wheel was kind of like this, right? Look, I thought it was a ball bearing. I thought it might be a control arm. The second driver, he took the thing off, and we looked at the thing, and there was nothing wrong with the control arm, nothing wrong with the ball bearing, nothing wrong with. I don't know. We put it back on, and you know what happened? It worked. It was doing the right stuff, but I didn't want to risk it on a highway, so it's towing. It's being towed. It'll get looked at tomorrow, but the most amazing thing, it's self-repaired.
Of course, yeah.
Who says these Mercedes aren't smart? Darn it. I honestly, I couldn't tell you. I don't know what or how or what happened. I have a feeling that when you were torquing on the thing, whatever popped out popped back in. So again, it needs to be looked at, of course, because I don't want that happening again. I feel myself half full of, as opposed to half empty. Where it happened was turning into Riverworks to play the tournament. We had already done the I-90 and whatever drive, and we'd already done all the spinning around all the streets and whatever to get to where Riverworks was. And just as I turned in and was going to park, that's when all of a sudden and I look and the wheel is doing this thing. So it wasn't when I was doing 100. It was when I was doing 1. So no damage to the car and no damage to us.
Yeah.
So if there was a time for this to happen, granted it's in a foreign country where I don't know any of the rules, but hey, you know the dumbest one I heard, Mike? You'll love this one. If I had them tow it from Riverworks to my hotel, then they couldn't tow it the next day. They couldn't tow that vehicle again from the same spot. That's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Let me reiterate that.
I have never heard
Riverworks to my hotel. The next day I would have to pay cash to get it to the border before I could get CAA to pick it up. They couldn't tow it from it. AAA would not tow it again.
Oh my goodness.
From the same spot.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm sitting there going, what in the heck am I going to do? And then I talked to the bar manager there at Riverworks. Remember, this is after 6 games of lacrosse.
Yep.
And just wanting to go home, I'll go to the hotel so I could jump in the pool and then go to the banquet, right? But no, they told me I could keep it overnight and whatever. And it's like, great, thank you. So I had to take an expensive Uber this morning back to there, which, by the way, is right around KeyBank, right? Is right around the corner from KeyBank Center. Beautiful place. Great place to play. And the lacrosse gods were smiling on us. We had perfect weather yesterday for a great tournament. And the Bandit Brigade, they did a spectacular job. An absolutely lights out job on this tournament. Everything worked. And the stuff that didn't work, we don't know about. Both floors were great. There's always the weird things in Caden Cup, but everything was happening and everything pretty much ran on schedule. A little behind here and there, but on schedule. The silent auction stuff was amazing. There was just unfathomable amount of stuff. Now, unfortunately, my head was in the cloud somewhere else with a car that I really couldn't take advantage of it. And but a lot of great stuff. And at the banquet was phenomenal. And the MVPs were phenomenal. And they were steel pieces that were shaped in a buffalo. I thought that was really cool. Awesome. Great idea.
Nice.
And what can I say? We're third.
Welcome back.
I'm back in Canada. I'm back in Canada. It's wonderful to be back. It's nice to go away, but it is wonderful to come back. And we're all in one piece. And my family made it back about 8 hours before I did. I was lucky enough to give them to a couple of friends of ours to bring them across. They even toured Niagara Falls, New York, and saw some other stuff and had brunch and whatever. And I've had well, it's a good week this weekend, man. I've had one meal in 2 days. It was a banquet though, so I got to eat well.
That was good, yeah.
But yeah, it was a great tournament. Great tournament. And the Spirits Alive, I believe, next year is in. Are you setting for this, boys? Chicago.
Okay.
Get the deep dish pizza happening. Going to be a party.
Yeah.
And the best part is I can fly there. I don't have to drive. Or I can spend a lot more time driving. Boy, oh boy, would that be a long trip with a tow truck. Damn. That's all I can say. How we doing?
Good. We just have about half a week of WLA left to get through here.
Yeah. I was just halfway through the Sound Valley Berards here.
Sorry to interrupt then.
Where did I leave off? In goal for the Sound Bellies. Justin Getty got the start actually over Frank Chiliano. 44 saves in the win. From Maple Ridge, Marcus Claridge with a hat trick. Dagan Carlson with a pair of goals. Ryan Jones with a goal and 3 assists. And again, Brandon Humphrey, like I said, faced a ton of shots. 46 of 58. Actually, Braylon Wandler did see about 4 minutes of action and allowed 1 goal and off of 2 shots. Then we move on to the big game. Salmon Bellies and Shamrocks on Friday. Gary sitting down.
Perfect timing, Gary.
I've not had enough pain this weekend. Has there been not enough? First, the physical pain of a tournament, and the mental anguish of this whole day. Have I not had enough pain?
And then the Salmon Bellies come away with a 12-8 win over the Victoria Shamrocks in a game really New West needed if they want to keep pace with that first place battle. So they're definitely not out of it whatsoever. And again, third period, it was a 9-8 game for New West, and then they just shut down Victoria in the third period, 3-0. I believe it was Chiliano that got the start. Let me just double check that here. Yeah, it was Chiliano who got the start, and he stopped all 12 shots he faced in that third period. For the Salmon Bellies, they spread the ball around quite a bit. 2 goals from Mitch Jones, 2 from Hayden Dixon. You got 2 from Ty Kurtz. You even got 2 from Jeff Cornwall on transition. You had a 5-point night from Phil Caputo with a goal and 4 assists. For the Shamrocks, Andrew Q with 2 goals and 3 assists. Clark Pearson with a goal and 3 assists. You had a pair of goals from Zach Mans, a pair of goals from Kyle Pepper, and Chris Regulari, 44 saves on 56 shots. And a huge, huge win for New West. And then a big win actually for Burnaby that same evening, 11-4 win over Langley. And we kind of talked about, Burnaby wants to kind of keep pace with that 4th place. They got to start beating teams in front of them, and that's one of them with Langley. And without the slide with Langley, they got to try to keep pace with Maple Ridge because they're sitting in 5th looking for that 4th place spot. And this one you just kind of wonder where Langley's offense went. Only 4 goals, 2 goals in the first, 2 goals in the second, then shut out in the third. Well, a huge second period for Burnaby with 5 goals. And big game from Keegan Malenchuk in goal for the Lakers. 44 saves on 48 shots. He had a pair of goals by Ben McDonald, 2 goals from Sam LaRue. And then, you had 7 players, I believe, with single goals for Burnaby. So it was really kind of a team effort all around on this one. Whereas Langley, you got 2 goals by Ethan Emlott. He had a pair of assists from Chase Scanlon. He had goals from John Phillips, a goal from Zayden Blake. And, that's kind of where the offense kind of laid with Langley in this one.
Right.
Yeah, their offense has been super anemic, and I know you're going to get to their game against Coquitlam from yesterday. But I'm looking here. So they've lost 4. Not only have they lost 4 straight, but until the game against Coquitlam last night, they had gone 5 straight games scoring under 10 goals.
Yeah.
They had 4 goals. Yeah, back on July 2nd, they had 4 goals in a loss to Maple Ridge. They had 7 goals in a win against Nanaimo, 3 goals against Victoria in a loss, 9 goals in that 21-9 loss to Victoria, 4 goals against Burnaby in a loss, and then 11 goals in the loss to Coquitlam last night.
Yeah.
So the offense is just, and it doesn't get any easier because with their last 2 games are home and home with New West, so who still has something to play for.
Yeah, they do. And Langley still has something to play for too, but I mean, they've got 5 wins, but so does Maple Ridge and Burnaby. So, I mean, they got other teams nippling the heels for that last playoff spot. They don't pick it up, they're going to be in the outside looking in.
Yeah, that's. I mean, jeez, they could end the season on a 6-game losing streak to slide out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something, eh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because as you mentioned, that final game from yesterday, 12-11 win, the Coquitlam Adanacs over Langley Thunder. So that does put the Adanacs ahead of Victoria and Victoria and New West. 2 points ahead of Victoria, 3 points ahead of New West for first place. They each have 2 games left to go in the season. So maybe tough for New West being 3 points out, but definitely going to be an interesting race between the Adanacs and Victoria for that first place spot. And really, I think the score maybe flatters Langley a little bit. I mean, they were down 3 in the third period when Hudson, Finn Halliday scored, and then Ethan Emlott scored late to kind of get them within 1, but couldn't find that equalizer. And for the Adanacs, 4 goals from James Ray. Outstanding season for him so far. 5 assists from Adam Noakes, 2 goals and 3 assists from David Cherney, a pair of goals from Tyler Kirkness, and of course, actually no Christian Del Bianco. He had Andrew Gallant with 45 saves on 56 shots. And for the Thunder, 4 goals and 2 assists from Chase Scanlon, which you kind of notice when you go through those kind of lower scores. That's really the name that more or less disappears off that score sheet is Chase Scanlon.
Mm-hmm.
Connor Robinson, 2 goals and 4 assists. A goal and 5 assists for Ethan Emlott. And in goal was young again, Caleb Kahn with 36 saves on 47 shots.
Now tonight you got the Adanacs and the Timmerman, and this score is puzzling to me.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Right? Did we eliminate everybody who could score from this game? 3-2 with 8 minutes to go in the third. Sorry, with 12 minutes to go in the third, and I'm huh?
Well, I've got somebody score a goal.
I understand why Nanaimo only has 2 goals, but they only have 28 shots. The Adanacs have like 574 shots tonight.
This will be something if
It's 4-2 now. Sorry, 4-2.
But Nanaimo pulls off the upset. You know,
Yeah.
we're gonna see these teams tied for first again.
This is bizarre.
With New West just what 3 points behind.
Yeah, 3 points behind right now. Yeah.
Alrighty. Got a busy week ahead still.
But the game is later tonight.
Yes,
Maple Ridge and Burnaby.
10 o'clock.
That could be for the final playoff spot right there.
Yeah, I believe it will be. I didn't run all the math, but I'm pretty sure if Maple Ridge wins this game, they're going to have the 4th seed more or less locked up. I mean, unless they manage to lose on Tuesday to Nanaimo and Langley somehow sweeps the home and home with New West, that's about the only way I think that Maple Ridge does make the playoffs. But Burnaby with a win pretty much puts themselves in a position where, yes, they have to play Victoria in their season finale, but if they win, they would be in.
Here's something though, Mike. Did the schedule makers know this beforehand? Because the last game of the year, of course, is the Shamrocks and Adanac.
Yeah, we were actually just discussing that off air.
We were.
That's the most insane thing I've ever seen. Is being
we were, and the other thing we discussed too was Burnaby had that win over Coquitlam that turned into a forfeit loss,
right,
which is now hurting Burnaby's chances and helping Coquitlam stay in first.
Amazing, isn't it?
At present, so
everything has a consequence.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, every game counts. All these leagues. So, and I just want to give a quick update on the OJLL. Let me just refresh this real quick because St. Catharines had a wild third period. And I don't know if they forced overtime here with Whitby in Game 5.
Because Whitby had their way yesterday.
Yeah, it's suddenly disappeared now. Whitby won in overtime. I'm going to guess this game just went final, but it was...
It's overtime, right? 6-5 overtime, right? That was yesterday. That Whitby won.
That was yesterday, but Game 5 was in progress as we came on.
Oh, here we go. Unofficial final. I got here unofficial final 11-10 Whitby.
Yeah, but St. Catharines came. I mean, they outscored Whitby 6-3 in the third to pull within 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it looks like Whitby takes that series. So
there were a couple of guys from the Fan Cup. We're hoping to get down to that one as well. I get in early enough that they can make it over to the Iroquois Park Sports. But hey, that's a long drive, even longer walk. But yeah, it's a that's wild, and seems to be some wild playoffs for getting into Minto Cup. But remember that Saskatchewan's already in. Sorry, St. Catharines.
Yeah.
Minto Cup. All right. Are we at a major series, or did we do that? Or
we already ran through it. We're pretty much.
Yeah, we pretty much. This is it.
Yeah. Well, thanks all for coming. It's been.
Thanks for showing up, Gary.
Oh, you need me to close it out. Also, let me remind everybody that this part of the show is brought to you by 60. Nobody did this one yet, have they?
No.
This show is already out there.
Is Canada's newest and most exciting sports uniform and teamwear brand, delivering top quality uniforms and teamwear that reflects the spirit and identity of each team. Their commitment to innovation and excellence sets them apart, ensuring that every customer experiences the perfect blend of style and functionality. Unleash your greatness with 60. Add Laxtalk 10 for a 10% discount on your order. Use the QR code on our screen, or go to Instagram at sweet_60. You can email at info.sweet60@gmail.com, or go to their website at www.sweet60.ca/60. Get your stuff today. All right.
4-2 Coquitlam with about 8 minutes to play.
It's a pitcher's duel still.
Yeah.
They're out shooting Nanaimo 50-31.
Now, to remind everybody, the Merchants with their win today, that low little 5-3 win, that is enough to have them clinch first place in Senior B. So congratulations to the Brooklyn Merchants on a great season. I think they're 14-2 from there.
Yes.
Just an absolute juggernaut. I had a long chat with Deacon Nod on Thursday about it, and they're just ramping and rearing to go. Knock on wood, they're all healthy and all chomping at the bit. And with that entire lineup in there, they're going to give anybody a run for the money for the Prezi. Anybody. And they got a good chunk of guys who are going to be NLLers. So it kind of gets under the way of the card of only 3 NLLers allowed. So it's all your ducks are in a row there. So OJLL are going to be interesting, especially now with everything going on. MSL, look out, Brampton, eh? Another win tonight.
Yeah, we're just.
Yeah, 2 in a row over Cobourg, and boy,
2 of their 3 wins come from Cobourg.
Yeah,
Cobourg's done everything they can to make themselves out of the playoffs.
Yep.
Everything they can to do that.
Unfortunately.
Now, the one that stood out to me, I know you guys probably went over the game, but I was at the game in Peterborough against Oakville, and really, Peterborough, there was something about it. They didn't look like themselves. Certainly didn't look like the team the week previous. They won, but it just wasn't. And funny enough, they had to play some players to make sure they had enough time in. So I sat beside Tate Tony and a few other guys up in the alumni box while the game was going on. So, and then they have this game yesterday to Owen Sound. Now remember, this is my dark horse to try and win the Mann Cup, right? But what we have to remember also is that number one, none of the coaches were there. All of them had to do with the wedding. Half of the team wasn't there because Jordan Sturros got married over the weekend. So they were bringing up Laker C players, not B, C, and a couple of guys from Senior B and things like that. So you can read into it what you want, but even with half a lineup, they still almost won, right? So, do with it what you want with that. But if you haven't had a chance, I had a great interview on Tuesday with Jake Withers, and we got into everything from how he got in, his time over in college, as well as even the idea of when did becoming a face-off guy be the be-all, end-all, that became the eureka moment. So you're going to want to give that a listen to. That's on the All Lacrosse All the Time YouTube page. Give it a listen. It's a really great interview. So upcoming this week, I'm actually talking with Bob Tering and Lars Tiffany on Thursday. So that should be a great interview. And Connor Kiernan was moved from this week to 2 weeks from now. So look out. And from what I hear from Michelle Boyer, we have everything ready and getting set for getting a date together with Charlotte North. So there should be some big names coming up. There's also Chugger, Steve Dietrich, also up for August too. So should be a terrific month for the NL Lacrosse Talk Show as well.
Awesome.
I guess that brings us to last words. I've got some last words.
Do you want to go first this time?
I could very well. The Fann Cup was an absolute success. There was, with the exception of my car acting stupid on me, there was absolutely nothing that I could see that was that I would do different. From the native prayers first thing in the morning to since the anthems didn't work, the team singing the anthems, to right away with our games, and some terrific games they were. And kudos to everybody who played it. Kudos to everybody who came out. We saw Rich Kilgore out there and a couple of former Bandits come around to say hi, and it was great. Had a long chat with Richie, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun talking Six Nations and talking old Bandit stuff. And he's going to be coming back on the show after Mann Cup again. So look out. We'll have a nice Sunday chat with Richie. And looking forward to that. Looking forward to talking about a whole bunch of stuff with him. So those are my last words. And if you can, try and stay away from AAA. Unless you got a lot of time on your hands. I got a lot of recaps done. I caught up for my weekend. All right, Shawn, over to you with some real last words.
No, it's exciting times, especially the playoffs. Looks like we got a juggernaut over there, like you said, in BC with the Coquitlam Junior squad looking to sweep their series. And, right here at home, tough loss from the Mustangs in their league final in Junior B in the Prairie Gold, but hopefully they can bounce back in Prince Albert next weekend and enforce that mini game.
Cool. Mike, last words to you.
It's in my caption. Let's go Lakers. Big one tonight. I really would, nothing against Maple Ridge. They're a good team, but I'd like to see Burnaby kind of step up and, have a little success and show that, that the WLA isn't as lopsided as some people seem to think it is. So.
Excellent. We got a huge week ahead of us next week, and looking forward to everything about it. And this is the final weekend of OSL, so they're going into playoffs soon. Yes, good point, Mike. Over one of our former guests a couple of weeks ago, Quinn McLaughlin, he played in a tournament over in Montana, and not only did he win that tournament, and he was sensational in it, but he won the MVP. So congratulations to Quinn.
Yeah.
He is definitely on point on what he's doing and very clear and precise in his vision and how he's going to get there. So this is just one more little click in the road here as he ascends to where he wants to be. And we wish him all the best. Look forward to having him come on later on and discuss further how his career has moved, and really interesting. I also want to give a shout out to Scott Churchin, who runs Streampunk and who stepped in for me to make sure everything ran behind the scenes smoothly with the show tonight while I was hitching my rides from tow truck to tow truck to tow truck, from city to city to country, and all the rest of the fun things that I just been through today. So I had a chance to have a few words with him before the show and a few texts with him while I was in the truck, and he took over like a champ for us, and I really appreciate it. And thank you so much, Scott. You are terrific, and what a team. Very happy that we moved here to Streampunk, and we are a family here. So it is phenomenal. All right. Until we meet again next Sunday at 8 o'clock. Well, I'll be here right at 8 o'clock. Don't worry, guys. Somehow or another, I will make it. Don't worry. By hook or by crook. For Shawn Slaght over in Moose Jaw and for Muffler Mike in Connecticut, I am Gary Groob, finally in Toronto. And very happy to be here. Great little something that's not moving. I'm actually sitting. It's great. But anyways, remember to keep your spirit or your sticks high and your spirit higher. Until we meet again next week, have a great week. Get out and watch some games. They are phenomenal, and we're heading into playoffs, so it's going to be great. Until we see each other next week, have a great one.